Hi guys, welcome back to Waxing On Wednesday, Classic Rock. And today we're going to look at a band, well there's actually two versions of it. We're going to look at the second version. The original version was called Small Faces. We're going to look at the album by Faces. And the one album I have is Good Boys, When They're Asleep. The greatest hits compilation of the Faces. Now at this point Faces had switched over. We went from the original lineup. We've included now Rod Stewart and Ronnie Woods. So some big names in there. At the same time, this was, let's say about 1969. The band Small Faces started in 65. 1969, by this time, Rod joins them, but he's already signed with Mercury. He's doing his own solo albums at the same time. So he was incorporating a lot of his material or his performances in with what we were seeing on this album and on the Faces album. We see the third album was kind of their breakout album, and you may remember this one, A Nod's as Good as a Wink to a Blind Horse. And big hit off there was Stay With Me. And again, I remember that one sticking in my mind. And that's the first time I really became aware of the band and Rod's voice. And then at that point too, I was getting into Every Picture Tells a Story kind of era, which was one of my favorites of the Rod Stewart albums. But this one, it was probably 69 to 75 it ran, in around that era. We've got Rod doing 15 of the 19 tracks on vocal. We've got Ronnie Lane doing 3 of the other ones, and Ron Woods making his vocal debut on the tune Ooh La La. Again, a very familiar tune from the Faces. Most of the songs were written by the band, other than, we've got one in here, Bob Dylan's Wicked Messenger. But other than that, it's all band tunes. The band for this album, and again, this is a compilation of albums. Kenny Jones on drums, Ronnie Lane on bass, guitar, and vocals. We got Ian Mulligan on keys, Rod on vocals, and of course Ron Woods on guitar and vocals. A great bunch. The list of songs, you have to check online to see them. I was going to write them down, but I can't because it's a digital download. I don't have a jacket to actually open and talk to you about them. Lots of Faces stuff on the streaming networks, YouTube. Hard copies are still available. Now, about this time, the end of the 70s, that's when the band kind of broke up, and this is when we really branch out. Rod Woods goes to Rolling Stones, Rod Stewart's doing his whole solo thing, and later on there were other versions of Faces, but not the same as this one. I mean, this one, to me, was the classic band because of Rod and Rod. I mean, that's what really attracted me to what was on there. The Ron Woods guitar playing, Rod Stewart's vocals. It's almost like a Rod Stewart album for me. And again, it's around the same time as Every Picture Tells a Story, which was a great breakout album for him as well. So if you want to get back and check out some early 70s music, late 60s music, early performances by Rod Stewart. Now, Rod and Ron Wood have been with the Jeff Beck Band, but I don't have anything from that album to know just what he was doing with that band for vocals and that. So to me, this was the first chance I had the opportunity to hear him singing and to kind of get into the style of what he was doing then. And it's just some great rock, some great memories from back in those days, and some great performances by two guys that really went on to be superstars, Ron and Rod Stewart. Certainly Ron Wood with the Rolling Stones, and he had a couple of solo albums as well that you might want to check out. So take a look on YouTube, take a look on the streaming networks. Again, if you want digital downloads, hey, I got my stuff through iTunes Store. There's other places you can check now as well. Just remember, when you're on the streaming networks, not all networks pay the performers or the composers or artists the same fees, so shop around and make sure you're putting a little money in their pocket as well. Okay, that's it for Wednesday. The band Faces, the album, and Good Boys, When They're Asleep. We'll see you on Friday. We're going to do comedy this week, so stop in. We'll see what we have in store. Till then, everybody take care. Stay safe. Thanks for stopping by.